Welcome to another episode of Make a Move podcast. My today's guest is a very old friend from back home from Slovakia. We used to go to the same school and we used to work as animators in Turkey. We were entertaining people in hotels, and he managed only at age 23 start his own company called Animationpoint. It's a company that focuses on training and preparing animators for the hotels, as well as supplying animators to the best hotels in Czech Republic and hotels abroad as well. We are talking about the beginnings of the company and how it was to start a company as a student. We talk a lot about leadership skills and how is it to be a boss to other people. And also we talk about how he and his company deals with the situation that's around the world today when many small businesses have to close, but he's still going, he's still running, and he still pushes through. So without any further ado, let me introduce to you Viktor. Okay, Viktor, welcome to the podcast. So I would like you to introduce yourself to people so they know who you are, how do we know each other, and how did we meet?
Yes, firstly, thanks a lot for having me here. I would say that I am the first man here. You're
actually my first male in the podcast. That's very special. That's very true. Yeah.
And yes, this is like, hi, introduce yourself. And maybe I would like to reconnect somehow, because why I am maybe here. We know each other since ages, I would say. Your younger sister was my classmate. Maybe you remember.
Yeah, of course.
I knew that she has an older brother. He was like 20 or maybe 22 years ago. And then...
yeah, because we were attending the same school.
yeah, exactly. So we know each other since ages.
Yeah, very long time ago.
Then there was small gap in our relationship, I would say. And then we reconnected each other again, I would say in 2011 when we spent one summer together in Turkey. So I would like to start with that we were actually working together, you and me, in Turkey as animators. And now I'm coming to the point that I would like to explain what I'm actually doing, because I don't know if many of your listeners or followers, they know anything about animation. Now I'm not talking about PC animation, or it has nothing to do.
That's the first thing that comes to mind for most of the people. Animation is something to do with like digital animating or something.
Yeah. So this is more like entertainment in tourism industry, but let's call it animation/entertainment. It doesn't matter. And this is what I am actually doing. Not anymore, like I'm not entertaining people in the hotels anymore, but I am running my own company that is providing entertainment services for hotels in the country where I live, in the Czech Republic. And also we are providing this amazing job that we both did a couple of years ago to young people. And yes, that's it. That's, I would say, my life, my job, because I have never did anything else.
And it's your passion, actually, right? I mean, I enjoyed it as well. It is actually an amazing opportunity for young people, even while studying at high school or university. You have to be 18 or?
Yeah, I was 18 when I started, and I was just waiting to turn 18, because I'm really thankful to my parents that they took me always on holiday with them, and it was like my idol. Okay, there is an entertainment, there is an animator. And when I was younger, I participated in activities in mini club. Then as teenager, I participated more in, let's say, drinking activities with animators. And then, as you told me right now, that at the age of 18, I decided to try it, and it was the best decision of my life, because it completely changed. And it's 2021 already, and it's still I'm still in.
You're still, you live the lifestyle basically, and that answers my next question. Like, how did you get to it? This is how you got to it. You actually experienced it first as a customer, And then you were the one who became animator, and I was with you, and it was very, very interesting job, and amazing summer job to meet new people, to experience the language, experience different cultures, different countries.
Exactly.
How did you decide to start your own business then? Because you were working for an agency that was doing basically the same thing you are doing now. You were the animator, so you were just the basic employee, kind of. You were going to the hotels in Turkey, I think in other countries as well, right?
I was only in Turkey 3 times, and then...
You were a Turkey expert, yeah.
We can actually switch into Turkish language, right? Do you remember anything else? Anything?
Kusura bakma Türkçe bilmiyorum.
Yeah, that means...
Sorry, I don't speak Turkish.
Yeah. No,
I can say... You taught me that I can say ben burada sen orada. That means I am here, you are there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can still order 2 tane iced tea lütfen. That means 1 iced tea, please. Yok ice with no ice.
Very basic. You're laughing, but I live in Prague. You know that, and there are many kebab places, and
of course.
Actually, always when I enter any kebab place, you see if it is originally Turkish or not, and if it is, I already know some places, and I'm just ordering in Turkish, in Turkish language, after 10 years. So yeah, it's not a passion, but it's still fun.
It is basic. I'm still surprised. I still remember it because it was 10 years ago, right? Yeah. And I still remember these basic phrases, and I still can start basic conversation, which is pretty amazing. And eventually you were an animator first, but then you became delegate, right?
Yeah. Let's call it like representative or tour leader or something like that. But that was my 3rd summer in Turkey. But 2 summers I spent like entertainer or animator. And then there came somehow the opportunity to collaborate with the management of the tour agency that we both were working for, and I became a really close friend with 2 of those managers, and they had a plan to start the company for animators, and maybe I was the button. Okay, let's go. I'm with you, and. Because I already had the passion for job in tourism and for entertainment in general. And yes, I would say 1st of January 2013, we set up our first company in Slovakia. Fortunately, or maybe unfortunately, I don't know, it is 8 years ago, it didn't went well. I mean, the business model was nice, but our relationship started being very bad and very soon. So after 1.5 years, we decided, or actually I decided not to collaborate with them anymore. And at that time of my life, I was already in Prague, in the Czech Republic. I was living there and studying there. So I decided to continue in the Czech Republic and to leave them the company without me in Slovakia. So that was maybe the 2nd best decision in my life. That was really tough. I was 21 or 22, and I had to decide, okay guys, we are friends, but it doesn't work, and my dream is to build a big company, the best company in this field and in the market, and it is not possible with you. So that was really tough decision, and I did it somehow. And in 2014, I started being active in the Czech Republic. It was only me in the company, and yes, now it's 2021, 7 years ago. And I don't know if it is a success story, because now in Corona times it's
it's different, but it is. I still consider it as a success story. You started something on your own, and you made a big decision, and you created your own business, basically, right? And the whole business model was kind of your idea, and you were the one training animators before you started, right?
Yeah, exactly. exactly. I was training the animators after my first season. Actually, I was, let's say, I did the training for you. It sounds ridiculous,
yeah, I remember.
but yeah.
You were my boss, basically.
And now I was counting the trainings, and these right now over 50 trainings that I did in general in the last 10 years, and still I love it. I actually at that time of the year we are planning or we are supposed to plan another training in January and February, and unfortunately we cannot because of COVID, and I miss that a lot.
Yeah. How do you know roughly how many people went through your training? Can you estimate?
Imagine that there is between 15 or 20 people in every single training, and yeah, that's it.
That's a lot of people. And
a lot of people.
All of them went through your training and became animators and actually went to the hotels to entertain people.
Yeah. When you are saying that right now, but sometimes it's difficult to realize that you are changing lives somehow, because
literally you are changing lives of young people and showing them.
Yeah, exactly. When I have some bad times sometimes, and this is what still keep me motivated. That okay, Viktor, there are some people who did your training that you selected and who are working under your company, and they are probably in Greece or in Cyprus or in Italy or somewhere in Europe, working as animators, doing this amazing job, and it changed their lives, because we have many girls who stayed there in Greece, who married Greek men, or who just are still active somehow in this field, who became hotel managers, and so on. And this was the start of their careers. So this is why I think that, okay, your job is useful. It's not just
it is definitely
the random job.
Would you say this is your biggest drive, continuing this job, to change people's lives? Or what would you say is if you can say 3 main reasons why you are still doing it and why you are still happy doing this job?
Firstly, it is the job in tourism, and I don't know why or how, but I was actually studying tourism at the University of Economics, and I always wanted to study tourism and being somehow active in tourism. And actually, right now I'm meeting a lot of people who are running travel agencies or aqua parks or amazing hotels, and everything is somehow connected with tourism. So the job in tourism in general, it's probably the reason number one. And to have the own company means, you know that very well. Okay, you are not running your own company, but you are a freelancer. The freedom, and that's
working for yourself, making decisions for yourself.
Yeah. So freedom, number 2, and number 3, that's tough.
Maybe the fact that you're changing lives, right? That you are contributing to young people's life, showing them direction, maybe?
It could be. And yes, I'm always trying to find any usefulness in my job. I'm not just talking about the job as a normal job, but yeah, contribution to the lives of young people, some inspiration and motivation for them.
Yeah. And it sounds all amazing. It usually sounds like that, like, wow, you are just successful and you have successful business. But definitely beginnings were tough, right? How did you manage to get through the beginnings?
It was tough, and still it is, and it will be very tough after Corona season, let's call it like that.
Yeah.
But in the very beginning, it was like a game, because I was still a student, and I actually finished my university in 2016. So I told you that 2013 or 2014 in the Czech Republic, I started with my business. So it was like a game for me. It was like a hobby, and still is. So I finished the class or the lecture, and I just opened the laptop, and I was just doing something that at that time of the life I wasn't even able to say, okay, this is necessary, this is useful, but I had a passion for that. So first years were really tough. Imagine that I don't have any university, I am after the university, and this is the proper job that I'm doing. Considering this option, it will be really tough. But maybe my mindset, my student mindset was good for the time. Yeah. Because I had a beer with my friends, then I went to my PC, I opened it for 2 hours, I could work until midnight or until 2 a.m. because I had nothing to do in the morning or just one stupid class. But the drive after became more responsible because we got some big clients. I can be more specific. We got the client as a biggest tour operator or travel agency in the Czech Republic, the biggest aqua park in the Czech Republic, the biggest international animation companies who are providing animation services to the biggest hotels in Mediterranean area, and so on. So it was already responsibility. We started dealing with 80 or 90 people in the season. So it was already responsible, what I already said 3 times.
Yeah. So would you say it was the beginnings were a little bit easier for you because you were not taking it so seriously and you were actually in a good mindset and taking it as a game kind of? So you were like, it's fine, whatever happens, right?
Yeah,
You were more chilled about it?
And nothing could happen actually because I was still studying. So there was nothing like fuck up after 2 years because what you did during your study, just hangovers and so on.
Yeah.
And I did one company, and we are still alive, so it wasn't any fuck up. But even after 2 years, if I quit the company, then and even right now, after Corona, I have really the idea to cancel it because the cash flow is not very good right now and so on, and I am already thinking about other opportunities that are coming to me. But still, after 7 or 8 years of having the own company, I wouldn't say that it was a fuck up. It was the part or the decade of my life that I enjoyed, and I learned something new, and I can go on. And I'm not quitting the company, of course.
Yeah, of course. But that's amazing. I think that's very inspirational, especially considering the circumstances in the world that your business is still running, because there is so many small businesses that had to close and people didn't make the cash flow and they literally have to close all around the world. Because
I agree. And especially in tourism, you are working in that field as well, not only as entertainer, but also as a cabin crew. Let's call it tourism as well. And
traveling and tourism took the biggest hit, I would say, during this time. So I think it's very admirable that you are still running and you are still going.
Yeah, it's not easy. As you said, cash flow is the problem number, or maybe the problem number 1, but to find the motivation is maybe the bigger problem. Because you know that we'll finish soon. But, we are in this situation since February or April 2020, let's say. And you are preparing something, you are preparing the summer 2020, and then immediately, there is no summer 2020 in Europe. There are no animators. Then you are preparing other projects, and the second wave is coming, and what you prepared, you cannot make. Then you start preparing the winter season 2020/2021, and 6 days before opening, again we are closing hotels, and now again I have to I have to start preparing the season 2021, but maybe in May, okay, we are not traveling this summer. So this is more difficult to find the motivation and to see the light and the end of the tunnel, let's say.
See, this is what I admire, because regardless the circumstances, you still say, even though you know you don't know if the summer will happen, if the winter season will happen, you still prepare, and you are prepared in case it happens. That's the right mindset to have, because you could also be very easily to say, okay, fuck it, like I'm gonna just close it, it's not working, traveling is fucked up now, let me just go and find something else. But you are still going, and I like that you actually found lots of different activities. Like you started podcasts as well, and you still doing it even though whatever is happening.
Yeah, this is the only thing that I can actually do to create some content and to. Okay, everyone is saying we'll become stronger after Corona, but
really?
you're not overnight. But you have to do something. And what I started doing a year ago actually was a podcast, more YouTube videos, creating more content, and the things that are actually just time consuming and not money consuming. And this is the only thing I can do. And why I think that I will become stronger, not me, but my company. I'm not I'm not always saying my company, because it was created by me, and it is only me on the paper, but there are already hundreds of animators and collaborators and partners and so on, and without them I'm just zero.
Exactly, you are just one person. This is what I like about you, because you have, I think, very strong, maybe natural leadership skills. Because I was working with you, that was second summer of yours, right?
Yeah.
Second summer in Turkey, and I was coming as a first timer, and you already showed amazing leadership skills. You are younger than me. I'm 31. How old are you?
29.
29. You were younger than me back then, and you were still like my supreme, like my supervisor or leader, I would say. And already back then you showed amazing leadership skills, and I respected you regardless you were younger or not, because I knew you are experienced. I knew you know what you are talking about. And I think with the years past, you must be even better now, definitely. And I like that you have very healthy leadership skills. And as you said, you don't have ego of saying, this is my company, I'm the CEO here and I run this, but you are aware of having people under you who are maybe not under you, people who contribute, and without them this company wouldn't exist. And I think that's amazing awareness to have as a leader.
I agree with you, and that's very important. I'm already pushing myself not to say my company, but to say our, or it's not me, it's us. But it became natural. So maybe it is natural leadership skills, but last 2 or 3 years I had to start working on it, because you got some talent, you got some natural leadership skills, but at some point you start dealing with people who are really your dream clients, and it's not enough anymore, and you have to start reading more or to do more networking with people who can give you something. So the card just turned around, and now I am, or not now, but since I started being more active in the company and started growing more, I started looking for the people who can be leaders or mentors for me.
Yeah, and that's another amazing thing to do, because you have to surround yourself with people who are better at what you do.
Exactly.
And that's how you grow,
what
right?
you said, it's about the ego.
Because you can choose, you can be the biggest fish in the lake, and you can just feed your ego and be like, okay, I'm the best. Or you can surround yourself with the best people, and that's how you grow. And I think that's like never-ending process.
It's never-ending process, definitely.
And would you like to highlight some certain people, like some certain individuals who helped you to get where you are, or some role models or idols that you had or have? Doesn't need to be in your industry, just in general.
There are definitely. I think that I don't know if we had a discussion about it, but I have some models in my family that again I'm really thankful not only to my parents who took me with them on vacation before I started this amazing job, but I'm also thankful to my sister and her husband who were running their businesses and were very, very, very successful. My sister had the e-shop of the year 2 times in the Czech Republic in the section of hobby and leisure time, and her husband he started building his own company, I would say immediately after university, and there was a happy end. There was a big exit from the company with a lot of money, that success story that you see in Silicon Valley. And those 2 persons were and still are, and thanks God that we have amazing family relationship, and they will be still my mentors or my idols, in not only in the business, but now we are talking about the business. So they were 2 persons that I fortunately found in my family. But sometimes you need the third eye vision.
Different point of view.
Different point of view, exactly. It means that there is a person that you don't know, that you are just reading some book from some author, or you are just listening to the podcast of the podcaster that you have never seen, and you just started subscribing his podcast, as I recommend you to subscribe Make a Move podcast.
Exactly.
And there are always some ideas that are familiar to you or that resonate with you, and I strongly recommend you guys, some listeners or followers, to find someone like that. It could be Matt, it could be someone else, and just to follow his ideas. Okay, not to take all of them as blind sheep, but to have someone in your life that you don't know, and that you just resonate with his or her ideas that are in the books or in the podcasts. So I have many people like that that I personally don't know, or I don't know, maybe some of them are somehow reconnected with my friends, and the way to them is not that far. But yeah, that's it. That's another idols that I have.
I agree big time. This is basically the reason why I'm doing this, because I was listening to lots of podcasts. I think I maybe said it before in any other episode, but I got so much inspiration from other people, and not only because of the ways that they try to explain, yeah, do it like this, or as you said, you should not follow somebody's life or ways of doing things just because it works for them, because everybody's different. Everybody's life is different, circumstances are different. But just to get, because you can relate to stories, you can relate to situations, and you can just get inspired how people deal with the situations, and you can just see that everybody is just human being, and everybody has maybe different ways to deal with things, and you can really just listen to their stories. Maybe you get inspired, maybe you can apply some things, you can apply things that they do, methods that they use, and some of them might work for you, some of them might not, but I think it's amazing way to learn about yourself, about life, and to gain lots of knowledge. And we live in amazing time when you can get so much inspiration and knowledge from internet for free, from YouTube, from podcasts, from books, and it's like endless. You just have to choose wisely, I would say, and separate what works for you, what doesn't, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, well, I 100% agree. And the most important thing that you said, it's for free. And you cannot say, okay, I don't have time, I have to pay. We are so lucky that we can record a podcast, or we can just subscribe anything on Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts or whatever you use.
I agree. And I wanted to ask you a question, because we were talking about leadership, And I know you personally. I know you as a friend. I know you're a very positive person. You have very good mindset. And I worked with you. You, as I said, you were kind of my supervisor or somebody who led the way for me. But now as you have your own company, you have employees, how do you find it to be a boss to other people? And how do you find the bridge between being super nice and friendly, which you are, and being tough? Because sometimes you have to be assertive, you have to be tough, and there are people who don't listen, there are people who sometimes do stupid things. How do you find it? Because maybe you can inspire someone. How do you deal with it as a leader? How do you deal with situations when you have to be assertive person and you have to stop being nice and you have to be like, okay, this is enough?
That's a tough question. I would like to start maybe with the thing that you said, with the natural leadership skills. And I'm always trying to be nice and positive and to be fair to people, and to build. I'm not building the authority, but the people or the young animators or our clients, I can say, I think that they somehow feel that okay, Viktor is a serious, fair, and responsible person who can help me anytime, who can answer the call and respond my message at any circumstances, and they are behaving accordingly. And yes, that's my way. So I'm not dealing with some bad employees or bad entertainers. Many times they feel the responsibility because I'm trying to be fair to everyone, and at the end it shows up.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's a great way to do it. Just showing them the way, lead the way, being the role model for them and being approachable. From my own experience, I haven't been in a leadership position, but as I was working for Emirates and I was a cabin crew, and I went through lots of bad leadership skills, lots of good leadership skills on my supervisors and managers. And I experienced lots of really bad leadership, but also lots of really good leadership. And I think that's what works the most when you are very approachable. Doesn't mean you have to be friendly and take the piss, like they take all the shit from everyone. But when you are approachable, when you show them that you are hardworking and you are being a role model, then I literally feel obligation to do the best job I can do, because I don't want to disappoint my leader. And that's
exactly,
I think that's probably what's happening with you, because as I said, when we were working together, I remember one situation when I was on a stage. This is just a very short story. I was on a stage. There was like a couple of hundreds people, and I was supposed to translate for Slovak and Czech people in a hotel. The hotel capacity was like 2,000 people, long story short. And there were a couple of hundred Slovak Czech people. We were Slovak animators entertaining their kids and teenagers. And I was at the stage, and I was supposed to translate everything that the main animator was saying. He was supposed to give me the mic after what he said, and I was supposed to translate it for Slovak Czech people. That was the deal. And I was on the stage, and I remember he didn't want to give me the mic because we had some issues, whatever. And you were in the audience, and I remember when I was standing next to him and he didn't want to give me the mic, and I was just standing there like an idiot. And I looked at you, and I was just feeling bad only because I was disappointing you, because I knew you were usually doing this every night. And one night you told me to do it, and I wasn't able to because whatever reason. And I remember I was like, fuck, like Viktor gonna be so pissed. And you actually were pissed. I remember you like gave me shit after, which fair enough. But I remember it wasn't even the awkwardness of the situation that I was just standing there. I was feeling guilty and responsible only because I didn't want to disappoint you as my leader. And I think you definitely have these qualities.
This is very interesting, and I can take it as a positive point of view, okay, that you are leading someone and he or she doesn't want to disappoint you as a leader, as a person. Or on the other hand, it could be negative, because at the end of the day it is just the job and you just don't want to disappoint your leader. and I'm making you the bad day or the bad evening because you disappointed me. Not only you didn't, okay, let's use this example. Not only you didn't do your job properly, but you are also disappointed because you disappointed someone. So this could be, okay, this is pretty tricky.
I'm not trying to say it as a negative way. I'm trying to show it in a positive light, that what in my experience also from my previous job was that when the person was a good leader, you can kind of sense it. And as you said, you have natural skills, I think, and some people do. You want to do the job the best way you can because you want to do it kind of for them. Doesn't matter what. Even if the situation is shit or it's too difficult, you're like, okay, I'm going to do it because I want to do it because he's a good leader and I know he would do it for me as well.
I agree, 100% agree. Maybe the last thing to finish the leadership session. I'm not creating not only my working environment. I'm also trying to create my environment. Let's forget about work. So when I'm trying to be approachable, when people can rely on me, they cannot rely on me as a Viktor, the leader or the head of my company, but they can rely on Viktor, and that's it. Dot. So I'm trying to, and then the friendship. We have great friendships with many entertainers. We are doing the informal. It's not meeting. It's just party. It's just party, and drinking sessions and so on. So yes, I'm still thinking about my job, that it is not my job. It is something that I like to do, and maybe
it's a part of your life.
Exactly, it's part of my life.
Yeah, nice. I like that. Also, you were mentioning, as everybody, you have your down days. Not everything is just rainbows and unicorns. So how do you deal with these down days? Now let's go to more of your personal life, maybe personal growth. Because I know we talk about it a lot when we message or when we call, because you work on your mindset, you work on your personal growth constantly. If it is by physical training or breath work, you having ice bath, you're swimming in cold lakes, rivers, which many people are doing these days. And how do you deal with down days? That's like my very specific question.
Long answer or short answer?
No, time.
Definitely there are these days, and okay, I'm not posting on Instagram, but those days you are not posting on Instagram. You have to deal with them by yourself, or if you are lucky, with your partner, or since August with my wife. And
congratulations, Viktor got married last year. Yeah,
the luckiest person ever. I found someone. Okay. So it's not easy every single day, and I am pretty strict. Now I'm talking about my routines and discipline and so on, but sometimes it helps just not to be that strict, to have those days when you are literally not doing anything. I'm doing my job also. That was the point number 2, the freedom. And okay, I got the freedom. I got responsibilities and so on. But on the other hand, you have that freedom. So why not to use this freedom in these shitty days? It could be shitty weeks. It could be shitty month when you are less productive as you would like to be. So maybe this is the point number 1. I'm using my freedom. I'm not trying to be that strict in every single moment of my career or of my week. And it usually helps when you just go out. And you start exercising, you start running or doing anything. We are just reading the book the whole day. That was number 1. Point number 2 is to realize that your job is still useful. So the usefulness that I have already mentioned, there are many moments when I say, okay, why I am doing this? and so on. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to say in every single moment, okay, I am doing this because of this, this, and this. Let's call it vision, let's call it target, let's call it as you want, let's write it down as a note, whatever. So the usefulness of the job or of the mission.
So you have a purpose. You know that your job has a purpose and your life has a purpose, and that's kind of driving you, continuing, even on bad days. Always to remind yourself that what you do has a purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Because motivation, to keep motivated, to keep yourself motivated, you can do it in a short-term period. You can do it. I don't know how long, if we are talking about weeks or about 2 years. There are definitely some statistics about it, and I would say that I have already read it, but you see, I don't care. Generally, you have to keep looking. If you didn't find it yet, you have to keep looking for the word you have already mentioned. It means the purpose of your job, at the end of your life.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% because motivation disappointed me many times, and motivation is not the thing that's going to keep you going, because one day you feel motivated, other day you don't, and that doesn't mean you have to stop doing what you do. But yeah, if you have purpose, if you wake up and you have purpose, and even if you don't feel motivated, you're still going to do it because you know it has a meaning.
Exactly. Maybe the last thing to add, there are some bad days or bad weeks or bad months or whatever. I'm trying to be, firstly, let's say, passionate about my job, to have the endurance. But then at the end of the day, you need to have some crazy moments. So not to take it so serious all the time, because it could, after bad weeks or after a bad month, it could very easily happen then that you're facing some burnout, or the first level of burnout that also happened to me. And I realized at the very early moment, okay, Viktor, you started building your own company, and it is not just fun, everything, and you don't want to open your email anymore. You don't want to wake up and go to the office and so on. Everyone knows those moments, and if you don't know them, just lucky you guys. But those moments will appear in your life, and in this time, yes, as I said, usefulness and so on. But don't take it so serious. Just have fun and have time. Have fun every single day, every single weeks. Just try to find some moments with your friends, with your family. Just go and have a super party, whatever helps you. But this is also very, very important. Not to be always so serious at work with your mind. Yes, that's it.
And taking time to recharge. Yeah, I think that's very important, because when the tough times come or when you're tired, it's very easy to just quit. But instead of quitting, you can just rest, and you can take few days, few weeks, whatever you need to recharge, and then you can start over again and with new energy.
Exactly. Firstly, you have to admit that you are only a person. It could happen to you, it could happen to everyone, and this is the level number one, to admit that, okay, something is happening, or this is not normal.
Yeah. And I would like to ask you, I asked you before, you said it's okay to talk about it, because as I said, lots of people can relate to stories and to difficult situations, because you had a difficult situation, and I think that was already when you had your own company, right? You were already having company, and you were engaged, you were supposed to have a wedding, and it got cancelled. And that was a very tough moment for you, right? If you don't have to like go into details, but if you can just say like shortly how you dealt with it, because I think many people can relate to this kind of situation.
I agree, and again, you should take it as a challenge or as something challenging. Okay, at the very beginning, you are sad, a lot of emotions and so on, and it doesn't have to be breakup. It could be the death of someone from the family, or that you lost your job and so on. Actually, there are many bad moments in the life that is normal. Again, we have to admit it's normal, but let's take it as a challenge, as something that give you the opportunity to be better and stronger person. And again, I will use your expression, it will not happen overnight. You have to start doing something. So this is what I actually realized after first bad days, or yes, I would say only days, not weeks. I started realizing, okay, Viktor, you did something bad. You are not a superhero. You are not, your ego is not at the level 0, probably. Now I'm maybe going deeper and deeper, but let's stop here. You just have to realize what can you get from this situation and how can you get it. In my case, I started being more strict. Maybe I started building stronger routines. I started working harder. I started meeting my family more often. I started having nice time with my friends that I missed at that time, and all of moments, or all of those things that I am right now mentioning helped me to go through this situation. So firstly, me, like my body, my eating habits, my exercise habits, my family, my friends, my company, my health, and yes, that were the columns, let's say, that I wanted to build, and naturally, to become stronger and better. But that's the process for the whole life. At that moment, it helped a lot, really a lot, because I started reading, I started being more active, I started doing things different. So I took it as an opportunity, as a challenge.
You focus on yourself mainly, and that helped you to grow and to not just stay stuck in the situation and just cry into your pillow, and you just took the challenge, as you said. That's amazing. You learned the lesson, because people say it, any difficult situation, all the teachings from Buddhism to all self-help books are going to tell you it's not a bad situation, it's just a lesson, find a lesson in it. But it is very, very fucking difficult to find a lesson once you are in the situation. But that's what I admire, because I remember we met in Prague when you were dealing with it, and we were having deep talks, and it was amazing for me to see that you are not dwelling and you are not just sitting at home and crying, but you are actually taking it as a challenge, and you were working on yourself so hard, and it got you where you are now. And now you are in, and I think that's also amazing outcome. You found an amazing girl who you married, and it's incredible. You are where you are now. You wouldn't be there if it didn't happen.
Exactly, I agree. And at the end of the day, it was okay, now it sounds ridiculous, but the breakup was the best day of my life, or the best moment of my life.
That's amazing.
There is a song, right, from, I don't know, okay, whatever.
No, but this is the thing that I'm constantly trying to remind myself, and that everybody should think about, that any bad situation which you label as bad situation, back in life, go back in years, look at it, and almost always you can look at the situation and see why that happened. But only with the lots of time pass, you can reflect back and you'll be like, oh yeah, it's actually good that this happened, because I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't do this. And this is what I try to remind myself when the difficult situation comes, to pause and be like, okay, this is really fucked up situation, but I had fucked up situations before, and I know that eventually, in months, maybe years, whatever time, you look back and you'll be like, okay, now I see why that happened. But at the moment, of course, you cannot see, because that's future. But it's a good thing to do, to just remind yourself that, okay, I know that this is here to teach me something, and eventually it will get me somewhere where I don't know where, but it will get me somewhere.
And we can apply this for everyone, because either you trust that there is a God, or either you believe in Buddhism, or just in yourself. In any single, or in every single situation, you can use it. Because maybe someone is saying, okay, the God has the plan. Maybe, as you said right now, okay, this happened because this was in plan to happen. So everyone can use it as he or she wish.
Yeah, whatever beliefs you are, doesn't matter. If it's a God, if it's a universe, whatever higher power there is, I think it can be applied, as you said, to any situation. I want to just jump back to your business, and now I want to ask you how, maybe some specific examples, how you dealt with it, or should I say your company or the company dealt with the situation that's happening in the world. Because as we were saying, lots of small businesses had to close, lots of people bankrupted. And how did you or your company deal with the situation?
First, we are still dealing, and I would say right now we are right now we are really dealing, because the first wave was nothing. There was still some summer. Some animators were working abroad, and we opened the season in the Czech Republic. But what came now at the end of the year and beginning of the new year, that's real problems with cash flow, and yes, the problem with the cash flow. Again, I'm coming, or I have to come back to my mindset, and to the responsibility, because I already have the responsibility not only for my company, but I feel the responsibility for the market. When I disappear, there is nothing like, let's call my company first time in this podcast Animationpoint. It's like a point for animators, like family. So I cannot just disappear. So I'm ready to invest some money into it, and that's the maybe step number one, that I feel the responsibility not only for me, but only for the people who...
You are talking about your own money now.
Now I'm talking about, yes, we still have, now I'm using we, because I'm already married, we still have some savings. So I'm ready to invest something if necessary, because I feel the responsibility that I have in the market, and I feel that some partners are relying on us, and so on. And secondly, when I realized that there is Corona, and it happened in April 2020 in Europe, more or less, it was actually the best time when it could hit us. Hit not only my company, but I would say maybe also you or anyone else. Because in 2019, we are done. If it hit me in 2018, I will never survive more than 2 or 3 months. Now I'm surviving 7 or 8 months, and we are still here. We are not planning
still
to
going.
cancel. And we are planning actually next season. So this is very important to realize, if you are in the situation that you are still, let's say, alive. Okay, this is the best time when some crisis, now Corona, hits me or my company, and this helps me a lot, really a lot. And how specifically we deal with that, unfortunately I have to release 2 employees that I got in the company, and I will work more. Right now I'm still in Slovakia, enjoying my time in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of forest, and trying to recharge batteries, because next week I'm really ready to start working really hard again, because it will be necessary. So I'm trying to find more power to be strong again, and yeah, that's it, to keep working, and keep working. This is just something that will go away.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's the best way to deal with it, to take the responsibility. And unfortunately, that happens. You had to leave some employees go, and I know people who did that, but they did that only to save the company, basically, and then took on more work, which is, I think, as a leader, you should do that. You have to step up and just start working more if you still want to keep going, because nobody else is going to do it instead of you.
I agree. And last thing, why are we reading books and listening to the podcast and having deep talks and thinking about the purpose of the life or the company and so on? Why we have to use it in these moments? Because now we have to be those leaders, and
this is the moment. The tough moments show what kind of person you are, actually. And as we were saying before, you can apply it again. This is a tough situation. You can take it as a victim, and you can be like, oh fuck, this is happening, or you can take it as a challenge, as a lesson, and be like, okay, what can I do now to still keep growing or to continue going where my goal is? Which leads me to another question. What's your vision for your business in the next year, in the next couple of years, or the further future?
The vision was still the same since I have started with my ex-partners or ex-co-founders. I wanted to build the best company in my field for now, and I would say I will keep it like that in the country where I live. So it means in the Czech Republic. The market is big enough, and we are having good lives here with my wife. And so to build the best company, I don't know if I'm talking about the biggest company or the richest company, but the best company in the market in the field of animation/entertainment services. That's my vision.
I think that's a very personal point of view of what success, but you achieved that, right? You are the biggest company when it comes to animation in Czech Republic, no?
Well, I'm trying to be modest and humble, but I can say after 1 hour of recording that yes, there are five travel agencies in the Czech Republic that are really big, or 6, and 4 of them already asked for our services. We are working with the best tour agencies. We are working with the best and most luxurious hotels in the Czech Republic. We are working with the biggest aqua park in the Czech Republic, and we are doing the best trainings for animators, and so on. So yes, I can already say that this is successful. This is success, and I don't know if this is enough. If I'm talking about the money, I know that I can get more money from when you started creating something, and you see at the end you have to see some income and some profit. It's not entrepreneurship if you don't see anything. It's the charity. So money-wise, I can imagine that it will be more successful, and I believe it has to be, and it will show up. That not only the position on the market, but to gain something from this position, if we are talking about money.
Yeah, I think your, let's call it, success speaks for itself, or what the company does. As you said, you don't have to call it the best company in Czech Republic, but the fact that you work with the best hotels, the best travel agencies, speaks for itself.
Yeah, as you said, I heard the great thing 2 or 3 days ago related to Corona and vaccination and so on. That if you have wisdom, if you are wise, you don't have to tell to anyone, okay, I'm a wise person, listen to me, but it will show up. It will appear just like that. Okay, everyone knows that this is the wise person, this is the good company. It will just show up.
It will speak for itself. Exactly. I agree. Big time. And yeah, I think that would be kind of it. We've been talking for 1 hour and I really like what we are talking about. So let's slowly wrap it up. I'll just have a few final questions for you. This one will be maybe very personal or take it as you want. But are you happy?
I am. Yeah. I have to say I'm the happiest person here in this cottage. No.
You and your wife, right?
I have amazing wife. I have amazing parents, healthy family. At this moment, I have amazing sister. I have the company that I built. I can not work since 18th of December, basically. Yeah, I'm happy. Okay, it's
Nice.
like cliche. I'm living my dream. I'm not using this, but
Well, you can. Why not?
I can. But I like to write some notes and to write some facts on the paper, and I can just continue with those facts. I have already mentioned some of them, and at the end I found out that okay, there are 20 plus and 2 minus. One of them is Corona, and second of them is that I'm missing the wood here and
in the fireplace.
Yes.
So one of them you cannot really change. The other one you can.
Yeah.
See, that's a good thing. You shouldn't worry about things you cannot change, right? And let's say one advice. If you could give one advice to someone or to anyone who wants to start their own business or who wants to convert their passion into business, as you did, what would it be?
Just do it, and okay, this wasn't the Nike motto. No, just do it.
Promoting Nike.
Just do it as good as you can, and try to be the best one. Because why you would like to do something if you just want to be the player number 4 in the market? That's my point of view. And if you try to be, or if you're continuously trying being the best one, then you cannot lose anything, because you are just doing the best what you can. And if you are passionate about something, it means that like you like yoga and photo shooting, so you are trying also to be maybe not the number 1, because there is nothing like number 1 photographer in the world or in Dubai. Okay, maybe there is, but you know that you are doing it as good as you can, and you are trying to be the best, at least for you, in your eyes, the best version of yourself. So if we are talking about freelancers or businesses, just be the best versions of your business or of yourself.
Yeah, I like that. I would just like to add that for me, what I'm trying to focus on, it's not that much to compete with other people, because you can compete and compare yourself to other people. You can compare yourself to people who do it worse than you and feel like, oh, okay, I'm great. Or you can compare yourself to people who are better than you. You will always find that. And then you can be like, fuck, I suck. But what I like to do is compare myself to myself and be like, okay, what can I do today to be better than yesterday? And slowly, eventually grow better and better.
And as we said, it will show up, because if you are honest to you, if you are working hard and all those aspects that we all know, your time is coming, and you don't have to say, okay, I am the best one yoga teacher, I'm the best photographer. After 5 years of some results, because you were honest to you, you were working hard, it will show up. Or this is what I think, and yes, that's what I think.
This is something I agree with. It's not only the results will speak for itself, as we were saying, but the actions will speak for itself as well. The actions you take every day will speak for itself, and that's how people will know who you are and how good you are. Not how good you think you are or say you are, but everybody can see. Okay, one last question for you, and I'll let you go to add wood to your fireplace so you don't freeze. What's the temperature there?
In the morning we have 12. Now I would say it's already 22.
Wait, not inside, I mean outside.
-4.
Oh shit, and you have snow?
Just a bit.
Still -4. I'm not used to that anymore living in Dubai. We have 15 degrees and I'm freezing.
Yeah, you told me that 15 and freezing. Okay, we have -4 or -5 in the morning, and I'm wearing shorts.
Good for you. Anyway, to my question. So my last question for you is, how would you like to be remembered?
As a fair person, not only in my job, because it's at the end it is just the job, but as a fair person, and now I'm talking about husband, father, maybe son, brother, and yes, as a fair person.
I like that answer. Yeah, thank you so much, Viktor, for calling with me. We've been planning this podcast for what, 1 year? Because I started my podcast last year and then I kind of stopped. That was my consistency not working.
You were waiting for me.
Yeah, exactly. I was waiting for you to be available because you are a very busy person. No, I'm joking. We've been planning this for a long time and I'm really happy we managed, even though it wasn't in person. We are calling. But yeah, this is the way to do it these days, I guess. So again, thank you so much for being my guest. I think lots of people can get inspired or learn something or anything from this talk we just had. And yeah, just tell us, where can people find you? You have Instagram, you have YouTube channel, you have your own podcast, so you can just name them. I'm going to link them all below, but you can just say.
You can. Me personally, better on Facebook. I'm not using Instagram, and the podcast and YouTube channel, everything is somehow connected with my job. So it's mostly for newcomers, for animators. But if someone would like to reach me, call me, just the Facebook is the best option. And I also would like to thank you for having me here, for the opportunity that you gave me to share my ideas, to share my drive, my journey, and thanks again. And I'm the good listener, or the best listener and the best follower of your podcast, and I will definitely share it for you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you are like one of my number one fans. You listen to my podcast, you watch my YouTube videos, you even quote me. So you can be found, it's Animationpoint. That's it. You can just write Animationpoint.
If you type in, or if you Google animationpoint.cz, it's a Czech domain, you can find it easily there.
Yeah, and your podcast is in Czech or Slovak language, right?
It is in Czech, in Slovak. When I'm having the Czech guest, it is they are entering in Czech language, of course, but I'm recording that in Slovak language. That's
for all our Slovak and Czech listeners. You can find Viktor if you're thinking, or you have some teenagers or young people who wants to try this job. I would definitely recommend Viktor. I personally work with you, and I can do nothing but recommend you. So
yeah, you are still alive. You see,
I'm still alive.
Actually, maybe my last thing. I saw you when we are talking about the fact that I'm changing the lives, but there are some moments connected with this job. At the end of this podcast, I would like to highlight that. Do you remember that in Turkey you were for the first time in the sea? I saw you swimming in the sea for the first time.
Yes, that is very true. How old? I was 19 or 20, and until that day, it was actually first time I left Slovakia or Europe. I mean, I went to Austria, which is next to Slovakia, but that was first time that I visited a country that had a sea, and I first time saw the sea and did enter the sea. Exactly, that's a very interesting point. I forgot about it.
It just came to my mind, so I don't know why I'm mentioning this at the end of the podcast, but let's finish it with this funny story that I saw you flying in the plane for the first time, and then you see you became a cabin crew member, and and you became the lifeguard as well in the USA, right?
Exactly.
And I saw you swimming for the first time.
Exactly. All right, Viktor. Again, thank you so much. Hope you're not going to freeze there. Add some wood to the fireplace.
I'm fine.
And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you and enjoy your day. Ciao. Ciao, guys.
And that, my friends, was Viktor. I really enjoyed talking to him. He's a very positive person, and I always like talking to him not only about business, but about life as well. And if you also enjoyed this episode, please let me know. Maybe share it with your friends or family or anyone who can benefit from it. And that's it for today. I'm going to see you in the next episode, and don't forget to go out there and make a move.